that's a good question. When you're in a tight lie, you have to hit closer to the ball. That's number one. Now, one way to hit closer to the ball is actually hitting down more, but it doesn't come without possible consequences. I mean, I'm trying to hit the ground in a precise spot. If I'm playing shots around the green, one thing you want to do is get used to draw a line on the ground with like a T. And take some practice swings where you bottom out right at that line. And you're looking to hit that line every single time. Now, as soon as you have a tendency to hit behind that line, you're going to be in trouble off of a tight lie. Here I've got kind of a tight lie, ball sitting in a little bit of a divot. This is a difficult shot. If my ball was sitting right here, it would be much, much easier than the lie that's sitting there. One's sitting up, one's not. This one that's sitting up, I can hit behind it a little bit, scrape the ground, and I'll be okay. This one, the ball's sitting down a little bit, and this is going to be a little tougher shot. I've got to hit closer into the golf ball. I don't want to put the ball way back in my stance, because if I do, I'm going to tend to get the leading edge coming into the ball. I want to get the bounce of the club coming into the ball. So I'm going to put the ball in a position where it's kind of middle of my stance or a little forward in my stance. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel like I take the club a little bit more up. Not necessarily a lot steeper, although it's going to be a little steeper, but I'm taking it a little bit more outside, if you will. Because when you swing that way, you will always tend to bottom out closer to the golf ball, as opposed to taking the club back in here. Can you see that now I'm hitting behind the ball there? If I take the club here, I'm hitting more at the ball. So I'm going to play this shot still with a slightly open club face, and I'm going to take the club out and I'm going to swing a little bit more across it, trying to bottom out right at the ball. Now I hit just a little bit behind that, but I allowed the bounce of the club to kind of save me, but at least I got close to the golf ball. If you're taking the club back too much to the inside, you're going to bottom out behind it, and tight lies are going to give you fits. If you're trying to hit off a tight lie by being real steep, the steeper you get, you get closer to the ball with that type of swing, but the problem is when you get steep, if you hit just a little bit behind it, you're going to run into problems that way. So you can't exaggerate this steep motion in order to hit closer to the ball. You've got to be a little steeper, but not too steep. And when you tell me that you're getting steep, but you're having trouble blading them, that means that probably the bottom of the swing is too far forward. Because you'll blade it from being too shallow, hitting up on it, or you'll blade it from being steep, but too much right on top of the ball. So I'm going to get a little bit steeper, not too much, but I'm going to try to hit pretty much right at the ball. It's always a tough shot when you're in a tight lie. It's always a tough shot when the ball's sitting down or you're in a divot. It's one of those shots in golf where you don't have much room for error. It's going to give every player trouble no matter how good they are, but those are some techniques that'll help you make this shot just a little bit easier.